then we Dremel it. We as in me, myself and I, all three of us, we do a pretty good job together, right? Me? Yep, I. You? Yeah, I'm good too. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Oh man, I think I need a nap. Did you know that the WWF Royal Rumble pinball machine is sure to beat the competition and be the heavyweight champ? And did you know this? That no hold brawl, video mode picture wrestling skills, one-on-one against the world's finest wrestlers, knock him to the mat and hit the tag button 3 times to pin him and win. I didn't even know there was video mode, so that's actually pretty freaking cool. So there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do tonight because I don't have my boards back, but I'm going to put a small dent in the WWF after I wake up here. Looks like I got to restart my computer. Julie's back from the UK Open and brought me a couple gifts. A sticker, a beer bottle opener, and she's got her own all-star card. And she is Julie Dorser's the Pinball Terror. It's a pretty cool card. Dropping targets and hailing from the pinball hometown of London, Ontario, Canada. Winner 2017 Papa 20 Women's Championship. Winner 2019 New York Women's Pinball Championships. Inspiration and force of nature behind the Electronimo Wonder Woman homebrew game. And then there's a bit about the artist, who is Neon Black Tiger. And yeah, Pinball All-Star, so that's pretty friggin' cool. I need me one of those one of these days. Albert, where's my player card? It only began like 3 years ago. I want my damn card. Just kidding. Shout out. But yeah, I do want one. Okay, let's get to WWF. Look what I found in my secret stash. Apron cards. Custom. Pretty sure my buddy Henry made these for me, so they're finally getting use. Thank you, Henry. And I'm going to remove the apron, clean underneath. It's not even that dirty, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I think what I can do is also work on this upper playfield. Like I said in the last video, I'm not going to start installing all the playfield stuff yet until my boards are installed. Then I know with certainty all my sockets are good, bulbs are good, switches are good. You can't change these bulbs from underneath. They got to be done topside, day to east. They did a lot of good things, but that was one thing that I don't love. So I'm gonna futz around, do what I can do, and see what kind of progress can be made. Oh, Kevin sent me a couple photos. I will include them now. My middle ramp is all fixed up. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. The edges are bent back into shape, and the welds are nice and weldy now. They're not broken. They're very weldy. So, yes, I will probably grab that tomorrow. And hopefully my boards will be ready sooner than later. All right, I'm going to get started. All right, apron is removed. It's the first apron I've ever removed that had 2 screws that you remove from the underside of the playfield. Guess that's just because the sheer weight of the playfield when lifting it up and pulling on the apron, it gives it some extra stability. But look at this. Just completely filthy. Actually, that might be one of the cleanest under aprons I've ever seen in my life. So, not a whole lot of work here, but I can check everything, make sure it's tight, and wipe it down a little bit. Doesn't need much, but yeah, it's pretty sweet. Oh, that is supposed to be a photo. All right, obviously the after isn't going to look much different because how clean it was. Check out that shooter lane. So, what is this? 2004, 2014, 2024, 29 years old. Basically call it 30-year-old machine. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And this is what the apron will look like with the apron cards installed, and I tried again to wipe this stuff down, but it's just, I think that's wear of the black paint. So there's the custom apron cards. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna move on. I think I'll just set the upper playfield in its place temporarily. Give that a clean rubber, LED, whatever else it needs. Okay, I went off on a tangent and I started dealing with flippers. It's because I had glued on that corner piece right there. I think it was that one. And I didn't have the screw in it because I just wanted the piece to sit properly. And now that it's on there and glued, then I put in the screw and now it's all solid. And I thought, well, I had the playfield up, why don't I at least change the flipper sleeves, coil sleeves. I don't know that it needs a full kit. Like, look at this. That is not bad. The guy that had this before me, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he had a basement that had like 5 pinball machines and maybe 10 arcade games. And he admitted that he almost never used the arcade in his basement. He was like more for like occasions when he had family over. So this thing was not played much for the 10 or 20 years that he had it. I forget exactly, but so this might just only need sleeves and be good. These screws might have original factory Loctite on them because of a hell of a time getting them off. I had to bust out the heat, and you know, you can see Loctite on there, so it might be the first time these have been removed since 1994. There's the old sleeve. So that might be all these flippers need. Okay, so I cleaned everything up, replaced both coil sleeves, put everything back together again, and wasn't happy. The coil sleeve on the left flipper is sticking out a little bit too much, and the linkage was hitting it. Hear that nice little click? I wasn't getting that. I was getting more of a thud. So I thought I'd file down the coil sleeve a little bit. Where did it go? It's probably where it should be, right here. Okay, see that? Now it is nice and flush, but I'm still getting a thud. And then I realized that my coil stops are a little worn. So dug around in my bin, and one of the last things I found is 2 Soul Data East flipper coil stops. They've got the bigger holes than the Williams. So with the new sleeves and stops, they should be good, except that I did find a crack in my flipper bat, so I'm gonna have to change the flipper bats at some point, so I'm gonna have to throw that on the list. Yeah, I just can't be having cracked flipper bats. They're only gonna get worse, so I've got to remember to throw that on the list. All right. Okay, old sleeves, old worn stops out of the equation, and it's nice and shiny. Got a nice little snap to it, and so does that one. So I'm going to check on the flipper alignment to see if they're both traveling at the same distance, so that you know, I know that everything's happy. The plungers themselves could be worn in a little bit, but they didn't look that bad, so should be good. Let's check it out from the top side. Okay, how do you guys look? Ooh, that's nice. It's not as snappy, listen. It's got a nice little snap. More of a clunk, but what can you do? Ooh, that's pretty darn good. Yes, okay. But here, that ain't good. And the other one is actually also cracked, so we'll get some new flipper bats going on there, but I feel like that is all these flippers are going to need in terms of rebuild. So maybe now I can move on to the mini playfield. Remember I said I had just 4 of these rubbers left? Well, I think that'll work out just fine and dandy. 1, 2, 3, 4. The exact number of rubbers left. I gave Kevin my LEDs temporarily for Whirlwind, so I can't LED this guy just yet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inserts, 2 GI, 1 flasher, but I can certainly do the rubber. There's supposed to be one across here, I am sure, because otherwise the ball can go in there and smash bulbs. And I can clean the playfield, tighten this guy down. Started to remove it, but initially, but realized I didn't need to. And check out switches and whatnot. That switch looks a little bit like it was adjusted at some point / mangled, but it seems to be okay. All right, I'll be back. All right, upper playfield is cleaned. Found another GI bulb there, and that rubber scenario is much better than it was. It's appropriate now, or proper is probably the word I'm looking for. And I finally found this odd switch. Remember I found one of these in the cabinet? Jeffrey Jones told me that this was the upper ramp exit switch. He was right, and I'm not sure why I have a spare, but it's there, so I guess that's good to go. And yeah, I think that's about all I can do for the upper playfield for now, but that's that. Okay, I think I am on to why the one drop target was not working. The wiring and diodes look fine, but if you look closely here, the switch is black, as well as that one, like really black. So I think therein lies the problem. So I'm going to clean those up and then we'll have another look. All right, here's my strategy for these guys. Remove, oh, don't drop playfield. That'd be a very, very bad strategy. Come on now. Okay. Like so. Then we get good access to the switch. Then we Dremel it. We as in me, myself and I, all 3 of us, we do a pretty good job together, right? Me, yep, I, you, yep, I'm good too. All right, done. All right, now let's have a look. Yeah, that's better. Can't believe how black they were. You know why? With all these black rubbers corroding away over time. But yeah, I think that's probably going to resolve my drop target issue. Okay, I'm going to see if I can clean up these upper flippers. Okay, not cracked. I don't even know if these are available for purchase, but they're not cracked, so they won't clean up mint, but I'll definitely get them looking better. Okay, the bad news is that these things didn't really clean up very well at all. I tried my metal rescue, tried rubbing alcohol, but the good news is I managed to find these odd 1.5 inch rubbers in purple that I think I bought for my Monopoly back in the day, but for like the spinny flipper on Monopoly, but the ball, like these are so sticky that the ball kind of would get stuck, so I didn't end up using them. So there we go, that's done. Okay, I've pretty much run out of things to do, so I'm going to wrap up this video. I did install these ball guides because there's only one LED under each, and hopefully they both work fine. Otherwise I gotta remove these 3 like 17-inch screws and this screw here, but I'm gambling. And yeah, there's nothing else I could really install unless it would be over a light bulb. So that's about it. I did test the underside playfield fuses with my not fuses, flashers. And yeah, that's really about it. So I actually ventured over into this room and did the final touch on my big game. If you've been watching that series, then this spinner was not original. Well, it was, and then I broke it, and I put on some decals just now. Kind of touched up the edge with green so it's not as white. So there we go. Green game is now big.